Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some pretty crazy internet drama as of today. So if you guys do or do not know, there's been a really big kind of critique and kind of huge kind of backlash against one of the biggest tech channels, or one of the bigger kind of overall review and product type channels called Linus Tech Tips. Now, if you guys have or have not known, Linus has been around for a very long time and a pretty good staple of the PC gaming community. But of course, there's been a lot of really bad stuff coming out throughout these past few days, and even throughout the past 24 hours, it's gotten even worse. Now, I never did the initial, kind of explanation of what happened originally, but it's actually kind of snowballed into bigger and better, where now the channel itself is literally taking a break. The whole community is absolutely against Linus Tech Tips. Their Reddit was going astronomical. There was also big issues with other various companies, and now even workers with the more brand new information are coming out stating how bad it was working there, with harassments and everything in between. And as of right this second, they uploaded a video as of today stating that Linus Tech Tips is going on a break and everything is all over the place. So I'm going to go talk about this, talk about the drama, and give me your thoughts and comments down below. And of course, subscribe if you guys are new, or swing by the Twitter and Twitch. I'll link down below, and let's go talk about this. So first and foremost, if you guys have kind of missed it, there was a really big influx of drama. Now, drama's never fun. I think we could all kind of collectively agree on this one. Where very first and foremost, there was, I'll kind of give you guys the whole thing. So there's new information that came out in the past 10 hours or so, and I'll give you guys a really quick recap. So basically, there was a little bit of a small drama that happened not too long ago, where basically Linus Tech Tips went and called out other big review type style channels, people with similar style, or it's reviewing stuff, having big information dumps on GPUs, CPUs, cooling, other technology, hardware, whatever it might be. So basically, as you guys know, the biggest channel usually gets the most views and most publication, or maybe sets the trend and tone, but there's always other various channels out there who go and have their own swing on things, or do different types of research, or whatever it might be. So they basically kind of start off with this, kind of throwing a little bit of small shade, saying that we spend, as in Linus Tech Tips, the channel, spend a lot of money and time and effort and try to make sure our stuff's really good compared to other channels. And some other channels are like, hey, no, we spend a lot of time making sure our information is set. We've seen some inconsistencies with your numbers, which are still a good effort, but it's not perfect. And this also kind of spread into even more bigger drama, basically stating hey, we could go and make the videos perfect, but number one, we don't want to pay for editors to have to re-edit stuff. Sometimes they just do footnotes and comment sections or descriptions, and basically kind of the lazier way out, which I understand too as well. If you have a tight budget and schedule and you want to upload a video every day, or have other things in the works, or you want to make sure that there's an embargo, I understand that to an extent. But basically, if you have that same leeway, you can't really critique other people. Maybe a good example for that is on my channel. As you guys know, my channel's a bit more on the somewhat laid back on the video style, but I still try to put effort and research and kind of know what I'm saying a little bit before I make a video. But I'm also not out here kind of critiquing other channels that are either better or worse than me, because I'm just doing my thing, and I'm just thankful you guys are watching my videos, whether they're good or not. I just appreciate you guys all for watching. Like I said, I like more of the homey, laid back vibe. I'm a Twitch streamer primarily, so I like the idea just to kind of talk and kind of ramble. But that's kind of a big thing, is that they were calling out other publications, which that's always a bad look nonetheless. And well, that's kind of what goes into then the part two. So part two of this really big drama is they actually a little bit of a review unit sent to them. So big tech channels, even my own channel myself, I've been sent a lot of various things. I've even been sent vacuums and stuff like that to go mention. But when it comes to this, typically you'll have a company, if they have a new prototype or something unique, they may go and send you something very special to either review or publicize or make videos on. And that's what happened with this Billet Labs. So that's kind of where the drama kind of really starts kicking on in. So first and foremost, they essentially, to my knowledge, had a somewhat PC liquid cooling prototype brand new technology that they had a chance to send over to the Linus Tech Tips channel. Now, this is where the big drama kind of started, besides all the new stuff that came out. And for this, they're like, hey, well, guess what? Go and test it, review us, let us know, but we probably want it back. And a lot of things I've seen that, especially on phone channels, a lot of phone channels will send you maybe a brand new iPhone or a brand new maybe Samsung phone, and they'll be use it for a week. But we want it back, whether it's a prototype, or there's early access, or whether we just don't want it out there fully for you to go use for 4 months and give out reviews on that one. It's just how it is. Sometimes they get a freebie and they can use it, and then they just, like I said, they have to send it back. They don't own the product itself. And that seems, we haven't seen the proper contracts, but that seems like what happened here, where they basically made a really big thing from Billet Labs, where they sent out this prototype unit to Linus Tech Tips, and they wanted to have it back. They want to have this item back, and they also end up auctioning out this unit. Now, this is kind of bad because they kind of said it was almost like a semantics of them saying, we didn't sell it, we auctioned it, which I would probably say auctioning and selling is pretty much the same exact thing. It was for charity, and they did also go and say that they will be reimbursing the same company, this Billet Labs, of this, like, based on the money they cost them to build the prototype, but it was bad because they basically had like a 5-day period. They sold something where they were not really allowed to. They did not respond to emails until we had a really big channel, Gamers Nexus, who you guys may be familiar with, basically calling out Linus Tech tips, both when it comes to like kind of like their actual company, how much they're kind of churning out content, the quality and ethics of the videos, and as well also kind of tying into this big drama with this prototyped unit that never was actually returned to them, and for some odd reason they ended up selling for God knows why. Now, I do want to go and say Linus Tech Tips did, number one, somewhat apologize at a really popular post, I'm just going to say popular for whatever, on their forums, basically stating like, hey, like, we're a growing company, we have issues, it's not all our fault, you know, we're trying our best, our videos are good, we like our quality, we like what's going on over here, and as well stating like, hey, we offered to reimburse them for their money, which obviously if you guys are working on big prototypes, you know, I mean, you sometimes just want to go and actually have the stuff first and foremost return. But they also had the secondary issue where they didn't know how long it was going to take for it to be returned, so they spent the money already to start remaking it. It's a business, so they needed this stuff done ASAP. And well, that's kind of like the number 2 big drama. They had a really bad response. It didn't really feel good. A lot of people in the community were unhappy with this stuff. And if you guys kind of scroll into as well, where they're like, hey, there's basically not even a reply until like the Gamer Nexus video with a few million views went live and was trying to get on Twitter. And they're like, yeah, this is a terrible look too as well. Did you even tell Linus first he would be making a comment too as well? And of course, they didn't have a chance to pre-spin this and have to play catch up. Like, the community is very upset. I am very disappointed in Linus. His response was very bad. And selling an item he does not own after being emailed twice is quite scummy. And I would agree on this one too as well. So they had no reply, they had no issues with stuff, and they had a response saying like, hey, like, there is even issues with their review, or they didn't do it properly right, and they didn't have a chance to sell the stuff. So this is all kind of the preemptive stuff. But the new stuff is, as of right now, even more brand new information is coming out. I'm going to more so do it for like the hide over here, is that we've also now had employees, ex-employees now coming out stating, my time at this company brought my mental health to an all-time low. She wrote, you can talk to anyone who was around me during my employment and they could confirm it. I would not have recommended anyone I knew to work there, especially with my experiences as a woman in the office. Basically going big. This has 32,000 favorites and a lot of other people are chiming into it, saying how it just was not a good workplace. No one liked being there. It was a very high-stress startup where people didn't necessarily seem like they knew what was going on. Stuff was still being done, yes, but it almost seemed like the boys' club and a lot of people were judging it. And it's also kind of rough too as well, because this apparently just seems like just not a good vibe. There is a lot of harassment that's been apparently now been floating around allegedly, and of course this ties into with all the other big gaming channels, such as like these PC review channels, kind of chiming in saying that this has just like been going on for a while, and people are not happy with the statements over here too. And of course they also had the actual CEO himself, Turin Tong, told them in the email stating, we've been addressing this internally and in all hands, hence the delayed reply, but we've already begun combing our personnel files and past notes and correspondence to see if we can corroborate any of what is being said. As this will take some time and due to our employee confidentiality responsibilities, we may not be able to provide a comprehensive statement until we've completed our investigation. But that said, they also don't want to leave people, hanging out here too as well. They were in a state of shock reading through these allegations. And of course, if you're a C, you're going to say that. They aren't consistent with our company values. They are not consistent with my experience with the team in the 6 weeks or so I've been here. Imagine being a brand new CEO for 6 weeks and you already have all of this 4 different layers of drama coming out. We pride ourselves in maintaining a safe and inclusive environment. In addition to our existing report system, both anonymous and otherwise, we proactively reached out internally today to encourage members of our team to report any workplace bullying or harassment they may be experiencing too as well. Our HR team will be conducting a more thorough assessment of the allegations. Furthermore, we'll be also hiring an outside investigator to look into the allegations. We will commit to publishing the findings and implementing any corrective actions that may arise because of this. So at least they had a somewhat good statement on this one too, and I'm sure they've also had this video out here too as well, kind of discussing what's going on, what's happening, and everything else in between. This 20-minute video also had a lot of folks very, very unhappy too as well, saying like Linus, always judge a company based on how they respond to criticism. And they were basically assuming that Linus had a really bad response to all the criticisms, all the comments, all the actions, and everything else to this. People are saying that the community was unsincere and unscripted too as well. And on top of this, a lot of folks are saying like this is not good. Like some people are saying it's good to go and shape up the company, make it better, but at the same exact time too as well, it's just been rough. And also at the same time, too, they also had monetization on the video itself. Initially, people were very unhappy with that because you're making money off of like apologizing for screwing over other folks. And of course, as well, a lot of folks are not happy. So they were even saying, like, imagine if Linus had hissing to his creators telling him they need more time to finish projects too as well. That some people could hopefully start taking breaks. And at the same time, too, a lot of folks out this, even some people thanking Gamers Nexus for saying without them, this would have never been actually addressed or fixed. So this drama got rough. Like, we have workplace allegations now. We have them taking a proper break from making content. The community seems like it's turning on them in almost every front, both on Reddit as well as also on the YouTube comments, and that's never a good sign. And overall, I do think there is, like, this is not a proper cancelization. Like, I think if they get their stuff together, it'll be fine, but at the end of the day, this is not looking good for the Linus Corporation. So give me your thoughts and comments down below on the drama. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We have the Twitter and Twitch room as well, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.